What if I told you that you don't need to look into a mirror to see your reflection? Now, what if I told you that someone in this room is probably your reflection? I'm not saying they look like you, but they probably talk, act, or dress just like you. Have you thought about how there was once a classroom with kids wanting to be teachers, pilots, artists, singers, writers, and so much more, and that got narrowed down to engineers and doctors? Have you considered that while trying to save time, all of us at some point turned in the same answers to homework or emails that ChatGPT gave us? Have you been able to come up with an idea that's uniquely yours? According to Mark Twain, there is no such thing as a new idea. It is impossible. We simply take a lot of old ideas and put them into a sort of mental kaleidoscope. While I agree with this, there is a new question raised. Are we able to form those unique kaleidoscopic images? Or are they just the same, like that of the reflection of a mirror? Let's be honest here. There's more people who watch reels than those who don't. While that's not the worst, here's what happens. From outfits and hairstyles to political views and career choices, we're exposed to content from all areas of life. When we frequently come across something, whether a situation or a choice that's made, we tend to consider it and implement it in our own lives. We see thousands of people wear the same thing and buy it, even though it doesn't fit our style. We watch everyone line up to pick the same careers and forget our own passion and do the same. We live by trends and top 10 jobs lists. We fear failure to such an extent where every original idea feels like a risk. In a world of choices, we become reflections, and in a world of reflections, we lose ourselves. Hello everyone, I'm Grihashree, and I'm here to give you a new perspective on the topic in a world of reflections. Find yourself. Today, we're going on a trip. I invite you all to join me on this journey to a pretty unusual place, a cemetery. Here, there are 3 tombstones, one for our hobbies and passions, the other for our forgotten dreams, and the last one for our free will. Now you may be thinking, how very random. Let me explain. There is a few things that set us apart from the other 8 billion plus people in this world. Our name, the way we carry ourselves when we walk into unknown rooms, the things we love, the goals we accomplish, and the people we welcome into our lives. I believe that all of these are interconnected. They are what make us individuals. Simple hobbies, big dreams, and the willingness to live on our own terms separate us. I want you to think about what your answer is to the question, what do you do for fun? For some, it's a niche, interesting activity. For those who have to pay taxes, it's fun, hobbies in this economy. And for most others, it's, I don't know. There was once a time when I had a plethora of hobbies. When I was 3, I made my first sloppy painting. When I was 5 years old, I became a novice in Carnatic music. Aside from this, I also wrote stories, did arts and crafts, learned sewing, and to play the guitar. I had so many interests, and I had the privilege to explore so many of them. As time passed, however, I got busier. It seemed like everyone around me was getting busier too. Suddenly, we didn't have the time to do the things we loved. I'm sure you've had a similar, if not identical, experience. So there it is. The death of our hobbies. Enter high school. By the time you shortlist your interests and learn your passions, time's up. Every minute you spend doing something else other than studying, there's some kid out there taking a practice test and acing it. This wouldn't be an issue if our goals weren't the same, but alas. There comes a point in everyone's life where they're told or influenced by the pressure of others that their interest, unless it's a high-income yielding job, is insignificant. We're conditioned to believe that just doing what we love isn't worth it. So the writers, they end up writing strongly worded emails instead of stories that pull heartstrings. And the artists study STEM majors instead of technique. There are many who genuinely want to excel in these sought-after fields but struggle because of the immense competition. So all of us are left fighting in a ruthless battlefield for precious college seats we're unsure we even like. There is a passage by Sylvia Plath from her book The Bell Jar. I saw my life branching out before me, like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One was a famous poet, and another was a brilliant professor, and another fig was the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe, and Africa, and South America, and so on and so forth. Beyond and above all these figs, there were so many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting at the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest, and as I sat there unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one they fell to the ground at my feet. If you're a student, this probably resonates with you, and as you're having this meaningful moment of introspection, there's probably something interrupting your thoughts. Excuse me, you have an entrance exam to write in 4 months. Get to work. This is no time to dream. So there it is, the death of your dreams, which are replaced by the waking of a life trajectory that never fully satiates you. The last stop is our free will. This one isn't like the others. There isn't a particular period of time during which we lose our volition. It happens every day, constantly, even in the most insignificant things we do. The rise of social media hasn't just given us a platform to share glimpses of our lives. It has become a sort of guide to live our lives. The more on board with the trends we are, the less left out we feel. At some point, it becomes a sort of addiction, a constant chase to keep up with the fast-paced world of opinions. We stop thinking about if we truly enjoy the trends we participate in, or if it is just a sad attempt to make ourselves feel more aligned with everyone else. We have normalized a sort of blueprint to life. If you go to school, pursue this major, work this job, live in that city, buy this car, wear those clothes, you will be happy. This is a common belief that most of us work towards, and when our circumstances and experiences don't line up with the blueprint, we feel like failures. The cemetery represents the things that drive us to be ourselves. It represents the loss of our individuality. The loss of individuality seems harmless at first, but its effects can be seen not just in our own lives, but in society as a whole. While we're caught up with the chase of approval and surety, we lose track of the bigger picture. Have you thought about how, when something happens on the news, it's all we hear about for 2 days, and then it's stashed away in the warehouse of things we've forgotten? Why are discussions about issues so short-lived? We're mostly aware of the geopolitics of our world, but not enough to know the story behind it. We're so quick to form an opinion without understanding the true backstory. It seems like we're not interested in learning about the cause, the consequence, and the next course of action. Whether it's news about war or world leaders or seemingly harmless trends, everything is impactful but brief. We share a reel or post about it and move on. Collectively, we're all too distracted by our own lives to take a moment and address anything else. Time has been made so precious, it's almost harmful. Using ChatGPT for the most simple questions, trends to decide what you wear, shortlisted careers to decide what you become, popular belief to decide your political opinion, are signs. Signs that you've lost your confidence. They show that picture of the cemetery. We've reached that part of the speech where I give you a solution. Usually, it's a list of 3 things you need to do to get better, or a very simple one-line conclusion. I choose the former. The fact is, even when the world endorses the blueprint on everyone, it remains in awe of those who dare the original plot. There is a philosophy called the law of attraction. In simple terms, it states that positive thoughts bring positive outcomes. This is accompanied by the practice of manifestation. Physics tells us that every particle in this universe possesses a certain frequency. Apparently, our emotions and thoughts too have a certain frequency. A popular analogy to explain this is using a radio station. We tune into a particular frequency to hear the music we want. Picture your thoughts as frequencies and the grand scheme of things as the radio station. Whatever thoughts and worldviews you possess, decide what outcome plays out for you. Manifesting is deeply embedding your intention into your subconscious mind. Simple enough, right? Okay, guys, really quickly, I'm gonna manifest something. I'm gonna be a billionaire, just like Elon Musk, but without the potential to be a global meme. I don't see briefcases full of cash. I don't even have a bank account. Clearly, manifesting alone isn't very reliable all the time. The solution? I believe the solution is a balance between manifestation, actual effort, and a little bit of delusion. What is delusion? The Oxford Dictionary's definition of the word delusion is a false belief or opinion about yourself or your situation. If you delve a little deeper into the psychopathological realm, you will find that delusion is a symptom of psychosis. Concerning, to say the least. The delusion I'm talking about is different. Semantic shifting is a phenomenon that linguists describe as when a word takes new meanings with time. An example of this would be how sick is used to refer to cool when it literally means ill or unwell. Among Gen Z, delusion has become a synonym for fantasy or even hope. It is the act of dismissing realistic barriers we may face in order to get whatever it is that we want. Let's circle back to when I talked about the fleeting nature of trends and the mileage of headlines. Every year, there's a new 30 under 30 list. Every year, there's a new face of inspiration, a new success story. It seems like our generation was gifted the perfect time period to make it big in the world. Along with this, we also received war, climate change, and crumbling governments wrapped up neatly in a box that says, kids these days. Delusion becomes a spell from Harry Potter. Loomis. It gives you a light to illuminate your path. It doesn't make the light at the end of the tunnel come any closer, but it does give us hope to strive forward. Suppose you have a goal. If you think that things are going to work out for you solely because of your positive thoughts, I'd say you're wrong. Yes, maybe, sometimes by luck or happenstance. But what about the times when it doesn't actually work? Another way to go about your goal is to be a little deluded. Think you're definitely accomplishing this goal. Plan for it, work towards it, but have an unshakable faith in yourself while doing so. Unshakable faith includes the little things, like thinking your ideas are pretty good, that your style is actually unique and tasteful, and that your opinions are not wrong, they're just different. I love the phrase survivorship bias, drawing conclusions from only surviving entities while dismissing those that didn't survive. This is the basis of every success story we hear. For every one person who won, there's millions who lost. The stories of people who follow the blueprint show that it's the guaranteed way to go, but it really isn't the only way. Originality is portrayed as a villain, as an irreversible risk. But how many copies can this world accommodate? Thank you.